you say this is a show my people believe our hopes are to needless reason. Nobody feel left out is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes to be obeyed. And all the things that must be happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play around, get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle.
And welcome to Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes for this morning, Wednesday, August 4th, 2025. We are in Southside Belize City behind the zinc fence at XTV. I'm Sister YaYa Marin Coleman sitting in for Brother Nuri Mohammed this morning, and we're giving thanks. We wake up with a move. We have another opportunity for that together for the next 2.5 hours until 9 o'clock this morning. We are simulcasting on CRM Radio, and you could catch up on any one of our social media platforms, YouTube and Facebook, XTV Belize. Welcome. I look forward to this reasoning this morning, and we have guests this morning too. So, make we start off with the usual lineup. We have the weather forecast by the National Meteorological Service of Belize. The forecaster this morning is Francisca Wellington. And then we're going into the first news brief for the morning, prepared by XTV News staff under the leadership of the editor, Maricela Maya. Weather time.
Good morning. Generally fair weather prevails and will support sunny skies with a few cloudy spells today and partly cloudy skies tonight. Showers or thunderstorms will be isolated, except for a few more over southern areas tonight. This trend will continue Friday and Friday night. Winds today will blow from the east and southeast at 5 to 15 knots, and seas will be light chop. High tides will occur at 7:01 this morning and 8:38 tonight. Low tides follow at 2:39 this afternoon and 1:34 tomorrow morning. Temperatures this afternoon will peak at 84 Fahrenheit up in the Maya Mountains, 90 along the coast, and 95 inland. The moon will rise at 4:04 this evening, and sunset is at 6:03. In the sargassum forecast, satellite and surface observations continue to show large amounts of sargassum over our area. As a result, coastal destinations will continue to be impacted during the next few days. A tropical wave located over the eastern tropical Atlantic is likely to become a tropical depression later this week or this weekend as it moves westward to west-northwestward across the eastern and central tropical Atlantic. And that's the latest from the Belize Weather Bureau. Do have a pleasant day.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989, CRM FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news.
Notable developments in the southern Caribbean region, where the United States has deployed Navy warships, which U.S. President Donald Trump has indicated are meant to fight the illegal drug trade in the region. As you may know, the Trump administration has designated certain drug cartels as global terrorists. Trinidad and Tobago has given its full support for the deployment of the American military assets in the Caribbean, and it has also announced that were the Trump administration to call upon Trinidad and Tobago to help if Venezuela were to ever attack Guyana, it would do so. On Tuesday, the U.S. led an operation targeting a ship it claimed was transporting drugs and being operated by a Venezuela gang. 11 individuals were said to have been killed in the targeted explosion. It was a move praised by the government of Trinidad and Tobago. Yesterday, Honorable Francis Fonseca, Belize's Minister of Foreign Affairs, was asked if that was also the sentiment of CARICOM.
Well, I think two points to make. One is that Belize is very committed to working with our international partners, including the United States government, on combating any criminal illicit activity along our borders or in the region. We're always very concerned as a government about narco trafficking, human trafficking. So we are already working with many different countries, Mexico, the United States, even with Guatemala. We work with them to combat these threats to our national security. So we are absolutely prepared to welcome any effort to tackle narco trafficking in our region. It's a real threat to the social fabric of our country, to our economic development, to our national security. At the same time, of course, the Caribbean, we're very proud of the fact in the Caribbean that we have been a zone of peace. We have always lauded that in our meetings, CARICOM meetings. We talked about that quite a bit. So I know that within our CARICOM community, there is concern about what is taking place. I think the issue is really more about communication, finding out more about what is taking place. So we've had that discussion in CARICOM, and CARICOM is seeking to engage with the United States government so that we can be better informed about exactly what they are doing and what they have planned. Because our commitment is to ensure that the Caribbean remains a zone of peace.
A few weeks ago, Minister Francis Fonseca told the media that despite it appearing to be in jeopardy, the Millennium Challenge Corporation MCC grant will still be awarded to Belize. He did indicate that the agreement will be modified. Yesterday, we asked if there are any expected changes in the total value, which was initially announced as being US $125 million.
That's still under discussion, but based on the meetings that have been held this week, there should be very minimal change in the amount. Where there will be changes is in terms of how it is allocated in terms of energy, education, and certain projects that we have under each of those headings. So the amount is going to stay relatively the same, 125 million US, I believe. But it will be allocated, in a different way. So that will be the main change.
Residents of the village of Caye Caulker will go to referendum on Wednesday, October 8th regarding the establishment of a legal cannabis industry on the island. The charge was led by village councillor YaYa Rosado, who started a petition to collect signature to trigger the referendum. The signatures were submitted to the Governor General on May 21, and those were sent off to the Elections and Boundaries Department for verification. The hope was that the referendum could have been held during the village council elections in June this year. However, the process was not concluded on time. Now that the signatures have been vetted, they were found to meet the required threshold. Because the issue is confined to just an area of the country, the required threshold of voters to trigger the referendum was 25% of registered voters, which at the end of April totaled 1,360 for Caye Caulker. The actual question is, quote, should the government of Belize should pass legislation to create a responsible, regulated, and taxable legal cannabis industry on the island of Caye Caulker, with a portion of the revenue going directly for the benefits of the Caye Caulker and its residents? The returning officer for the poll will be Anthony Mai, Chief Environmental Officer. Councillor Rosado framed the petition as an initiative to bring meaningful change and economic opportunity to the island. He noted that a regulated cannabis industry could generate tax revenue to be invested in local infrastructure, education, and healthcare, boost local employment and entrepreneurship, reduce illegal activity by replacing the black market, and attract sustainable tourism and investment, quote, that aligns with Caye Caulker's unique island identity, end quote. Cabinet Minister Francis Fonseca yesterday spoke of the upcoming referendum.
Well, it's a process for to the people of Caye Caulker. They will have to make a determination. They thought it was an important issue for their community. So, I think yesterday the minister responsible for elections briefed cabinet that the process is going to move forward. We have to allocate the funds for a referendum, so that is moving forward, and we'll have an opportunity to hear directly from the people of Caye Caulker on that issue.
So this issue has national implications that does extend beyond Caye Caulker, given the nature of existing legislation regarding marijuana. Can I just get your thoughts on the implications?
Yeah, I think, as you know, the Ministry of New Growth Industries has been working on this issue. It's something we've talked about in our previous term of office, of advancing. I think we have to look at it again. So, I don't think we're in a position yet to say definitively what our position will be. But I think the outcome of the referendum in Caye Caulker will help to guide that process moving forward. So we're all looking at that process and to see what the outcome will be.
21-year-old Christy Guzman has been further remanded until Monday, September 8th, in connection with the charge of manslaughter in the death of 28-year-old entrepreneur Wilson Hernandez on Sunday in Belmopan. She reappeared in the Belmopan Magistrate Court for the continuation of her bail hearing yesterday. However, the matter was adjourned as Senior Magistrate Tricia Pitts Anderson has too many matters before her to address. In the wake of the leak of 11 seconds of surveillance footage, Attorney Audrey Matura has questioned why Guzman was not charged with possession of an illegal firearm and ammunition, given that she was not licensed to use her aunt's firearm. Such a charge would have meant she would not be eligible for bail at the magistrate court level. Others are calling for the aunt and common law wife of Hernandez, Dalia Vejos, to also be charged. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Honorable Francis Fonseca, Wednesday spoke on the meeting between officials of the Embassy of Belize in Guatemala and Joseph Ryan Budna. Fonseca said the Ministry of Foreign Affairs was concerned about his health, treatment, and whether he had access to legal representation.
Yeah, two officers from the embassy in Guatemala, Belize's embassy in Guatemala, visited with Mr. Budna. They provided us with a comprehensive report on that meeting. They described it as a very positive meeting, a very useful meeting. They were there, of course, primarily to ensure that Mr. Budna was in good health, one. So they were able to speak with him about that and address some of his concerns as it relates to certain medications that he needs and requires. So they are working on that, and they had an opportunity to speak to the director of the facility that he is in, the prison that he is in, and they were assured that his medical needs were being met, and based on everything they observed and heard, and even what Mr. Budna reported to them, they are confident and assured that he is being treated properly. His rights have not been, in any way infringed upon there at the prison. And then the second objective of that meeting was to ensure that Mr. Budna had proper legal representation. They were able to establish that is being worked on. Mr. Budna indicated to them that he would be getting his own representation, legal representation. He was assured and informed that if he did not get legal representation, he should inform us and we would try to help him with that. And of course, he can also be appointed a public defender by the Guatemalan authorities.
Fonseca was asked if there are concerns that the investigation of Budna's abduction is being carried out by the police, who Budna claims were behind the incident. Fonseca said that so far there is no evidence to back Budna's claims.
We have a police investigation that is underway, an investigation that has to be completed. Foreign Affairs is providing whatever information is required of us to that investigation. Once that investigation is completed, then we'll be in a position to determine whether or not what you are saying is accurate.
Do you agree that that investigation should be independent and that police are directly implicated by the victim and also by the evidence which Channel 7 has?
Well, I haven't seen any evidence. I have not seen your evidence. So we're not in a position to say that as yet. We may reach that point where, based on the course of the investigation, a determination is made that this has to be done outside of the police department. But we're not there yet. We have to allow the investigation to follow its course. And once that we've established certain things, then I think we can determine whether or not we need independent special investigation. In case of Mr. Budna, there's an allegation of him being abducted. He is making certain accusations about who abducted him. That has to be established. He is accused of very, very serious crimes in Guatemala and has been sentenced, as you know, to 30 years. So we have to look at that and work with the Guatemalan authorities on that issue. And as I said, we are, from Foreign Affairs, we're concerned about his health and about legal representation.
A leaked video of the abduction shows Budna being held down by two men while a heavyset individual beats him repeatedly with what appears to be a baton before all three haul him off. Budna accuses Belize police of carrying out the abduction. And that's the end of this morning's news brief. Immediately following Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes on CREM Radio, you could listen to more news, comments, affirmation, good community engagement on CREM Radio from 9 to 12. At 12:30, there's a full news package on CREM Radio. At 3 o'clock, there's a news brief. And at 5:15, there's a full news package on CREM Radio. Here at XTV at 6 o'clock, there's a full news package. We'll take a quick break, come back, open up the phone lines, and we'll reason.
Informative, accurate, current information. CREM's newscast. Local, regional, and international news. Weather and sports.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank. Building the future together.
It's the Martins Community Festival 2025 going down Sunday, September 7th. Mahogany Street will be the epicenter of the fun, the excitement, the food, the entertainment, and the people. This year's Martins Fest features Britney Starr, Ernestine, Chica Ramos, Nello Playa,
you deserve it, cause anything you want, you could request it, cause you
Unlimited, Toast,
pray every morning.
Miney, Sweet Pain 3.0, Hubie, Yaz Talia, Kenny Gladden and the New Creation Band, Coconut Boy, Super G, Stick the Artist,
Every girl want it, sunny or stormy, money no.
NTR Shine.
Then I drive out,
With music from Mr. Frisco, Reggae Kingpin, Tony G, DJ Dixie, Sly Boy International, DJ Buff, DJ Lala, DJ Baby, DJ Pounds, Exclusive Sounds, backed up by Hyper Sound, and hosted by Brick City. Oleander to Jasmine, the Martins Community Festival 2025, Sunday, September 7th. Sponsored by Grace Kennedy Belize Limited, Belize City Council, J&W Shopping Mart, Belize Electricity Limited, Hyper Sounds, the Honorable Anthony Mahler, and the Belize Police Department.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
Back to Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes for this Wednesday morning. I feel chilly when I left home, and I know it's a cold front. I can't to pack lift and chilly when I get. I feel nice though, because the heat in the past few days, the on. Make sure we stay hydrated, people. Wearing the shades, wearing a cap, on a hat, on an umbrella. Try staying at the shade. That's very, very important, especially for younger children, special needs people, elderly people. Make sure to check in on the people laying at this heat. The phone number to call is 280-5848. 280-5848. We'll have a guest at 8 o'clock. I'm not prepared to talk for a whole hour, so I'd ask for Colleen. 280-5848. I usually bring my bag of books, but this morning I never bring my bag of books. So and I need for help me, Colleen, it's on community reasoning. And one of the things I know I have a responsibility for comment on, and Mose has done an outstanding job on Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes, discussing the abduction of Joseph Budner. I haven't been keeping up with the news per se, So I want to say, I don't know. I don't know if media houses, journalists in Belize, I know Channel 7 has done outstanding work, exceptional work we have to recognize as it relates to the Joseph Budna abduction. I know Zingfens carried as well, the story. And it's absolutely important that Belizean people get involved in this process, become knowledgeable, and understand that if we as a people now hold the government of Belize, the Belize Police Department especially, accountable, so the beginning and the end for we, in a serious way. Now, I really tired of people who get paid for no, come to the media and say, I don't know, I don't see the video yet, that your duty and responsibility for no Minister of Foreign Affairs, Francis Fonseca, for see the leaked video. I'm not a Judge Budna. I look only on him as a human being as it relates to this particular incident. You have to give the brother credit for document his own abduction as good as he documented, for the leak, the evidence that way they say that true. Now, from all the reports what I say, I believe the man get kidnapped by the Belize Police Department. I believe that. We know that the Belize Police Department, they are no clean entity. And how could we expect the Belize Police Department to investigate themselves? That don't make no damn sense. The fool they talk, but they not fool they listen. Government of Belize, whoever they talk on behalf of the police department, the commissioner of police, you have one direct duty and your name get called up. But not say here then call your name when they place the call when in the back and way. What we for the Belizean people? This is unacceptable, it's wrong that one state, one kidnap, based on, maybe I should say allegation, kind of there, so when I say allege, but I believe the allegation. We know me today, I know me today, but from what has been reported in the media, it not take much common sense for say where Budna the claim and where the video show it add up what the Belize Police Department they said on the add up. That I want concern. The number at 280-5848. I want to call in and reason about it. Now, I ask you, we only look upon the abduction, the one human being. It's no different from, and human beings do wrong things. No, I don't know no human being who could say I never do nothing wrong yet and the truth gonna tell. There's a difference between doing some serious wrong to other human beings and getting caught and not getting caught. So a lot of people out there dirty. One lot of women might give them respect because of how they present, but then dirty. So not because they don't get revealed or don't get catch, meaning anybody special. So I think about people, for example, who are incarcerated, and one number of them do wrong things, really terrible things to other human beings, and should be held accountable, should be offered an opportunity for really repair themselves, for really be better human beings, and then maybe hopefully one day get released back into the community again. They say when people show you who they are the first time, believe them. And you have to, it would be wise to give people grace, people grow, then change, or not. The hope is that as we age, we would get wiser and be more reflective of ourselves. Because the way we treat other people, they're a reflection of how we treat ourselves. So if we're very judgmental of our own character, actions, thoughts, then that the kind of vibes we are bringing to other people. And nobody know to say Bodna not the wrong thing. We look upon this particular concern as a human being, as a Belizean, as a journalist. We cannot make the state get away with this. I don't know who should do the investigation, but I know it shouldn't be the Belize Police Department. The Belize, I mean, how could you investigate your own self in the allegation of a huge violation? How common sense one say, especially if based on the allegation, this come from up top, like they want handing their people and say they're guilty based on the investigation. It not add up. Government of Belize. Fool talk, but fool not listen. Recently, my co-host on Sunday Review, who's a revolutionary from Trinidad and Tobago, brother Akamotota, I know to say I agree with this scenario, but I allow him because a lot of Belizean people, adults in particular, correlate to this scenario. And I think about it because of how the foreign minister respond, how the commissioner of police respond. It's a woman catch a man the cheat. He catch on the cheat. And the man look at her and say, you won't believe me or your lying eyes. No. Belizean people. And you know, it is show up in different areas. So I'll park the Bodna case and I need them for call 2805848. I'll park the Bodna case for now. And I'm going to the situation where United Black Association for Development, UEF, the advocate, the lead, holding the government of Belize, the Ministry of Education. We don't do as much activism on the Ministry of Labor, but we are working on that. As it relates to 2 human rights violations. One being that Belizean students have been denied, one number of them, based on reports that UEF do. I think I get my numbers confused sometimes. I think that over one 11-year period, we find 9 different reported stories, all 6 districts, of students being sent home because they never follow hair rules that want school, or being denied access to education because of our hairstyle. Majority of the cases where UEF find that were reported in the local news, I remember that I just will get reported because a lot not get reported, that identifiable African descendants racialized as black people. So you have them violations. Now, when you listen to the wider public, and people have different positions on it. And the reason I bring that up is because I'm seeing a similarity with that situation and with the Joseph Bodna situation. Now, I want to park that for a moment. And make we look at Belize education system. Me personally would call it the Belize miseducation system. For said that at the point when we claim to have gotten political independence, and I say claim because there wasn't a decolonization process where the people demanded and the government agreed that we want to do an investigation of the history of this country, and based on the evaluation and participation of the community, we want to choose what the Constitution of Belize want to be, and the Constitution want to be reflective of the people in the country, the truth of the people in the country, the values of this country based on the people who live in this country. And we are move forward from there. No. Just like a lot of other countries where claim for being independent, they pretty much want to cut and paste Constitution from the British Empire. Good morning. Thanks for calling. Oh, Carla. Call back for me, please. The number 2805848. I just want to finish the sentence, so just bear with me. We do prioritize our callers, and so yes, the Constitution of Belize. They never want to document what Belizeans study with history or our stories, because they're not just his story, it's our stories, the people of this country, for then determine what will be in the best interest of Belizeans and Belize. Like, good morning, thanks for calling Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. You're on the air.
Good morning, YaYa.
Good morning, brother. How the morning?
Well, the morning good yellow PG. But I call YaYa because I am very, very disappointed in the way our public servants have been treated here in PGs. I won't call the name of the government office, but miss, I can call the name of the place where it was. It was on Jose Maria Nunes Street, and it is now on Clement Street, Miss YaYa. When it was on Jose Maria Nunes Street, we had enough space for clients to go and do their business in that institution. Now where it is, YaYa, it is congested, very congested, and apparently nobody, not even the public servants who are working, care about their working conditions.
Which institution? One second, brother. 1 second. Which institution are you talking about?
I'm talking about the income tax department here in PG, GST.
Okay.
Office.
How long you move? How long they move it?
Man, they must have moved it about 6 months ago, if I'm not mistaken. This just shows, YaYa, that man, nobody care about our comfort here in PG. Imagine that place only could hold one person, YaYa. And a big person, a very big person, man, you have problems sitting down, he or she. I recall because, man, YaYa, we hear what the public servants went through. And is this one of the reasons why the public servants here in PG, especially those are being treated the way they are treated? Or is it because they don't even say anything because they are working about their working condition? Come on, YaYa. Come on, this is out of order, man. So I am calling on those in authorities, man, for fix back, or for put back that office where it was, because we were happy where it was.
Okay, it was on Jose Maria Street at first?
Yes, it was on Jose Maria Nunes Street. Now it is on Clement Street. Very congested, You can't even, you have to squeeze your way into the office, YaYa. And you have to squeeze your way out.
May I ask you something?
Talk to me.
You bring this to the attention by any chance to PGTV?
Hey, I just gone to the office, YaYa, and I recall Creme. I don't have no problem passing it on to PGTV, no.
No, I glad you call away. I glad you call away.
Thanks, YaYa, and I'm glad you are entertaining this call, because, man, we the PG need better. We the PG need betterment. And this is one of the reasons, as I said earlier, when you look at the public servants, their performance are going down. They are going down, YaYa. And I tell you, YaYa, when I listen to what is happening, the public servants might not even get their 4.5 this next month. Or if they do get it, there is a high chance that they won't get it next year. Come on, YaYa.
May I ask you a question?
Talk to me.
I want to give one lead.
I'm not going to credit you.
I want to give one lead task for them. If you could find out who may own the building on Jose Maria Nunes Street and who own the building on Clement Street, because one of the things where I observe happen, when political parties come in power, they want to give them people who want to run. So if you got a building for rent, then you don't want a loyal party follower or affiliate, then
you hit the nail on the head.
So you may notice that you don't say nothing to me?
When you talk about politics,
When you say I hit the nail on the head, what do you mean?
It is because of politics. The people, the politicians want to give people who run. We don't mind your people who run, you know. But when you give your people who run, make we who are use your building happy, man, or comfortable.
So you play a Nancy, me know then. So listen to me. Listen to me. When you call, you don't know say that involving in the conversation, but you never put it on the table.
Of course, because sometimes we have to make people read between the lines, especially when it comes to PG. So they got a lot of things. They got a lot more I want to say, but like I say, I'm not enough credit. When I get more credit, I will give you a holler.
Okay then, brother. Thanks for the call, and then follow up with me though. Follow up with XTV for find out if PGTV did the coverage, because only the people want to save the people. We don't have to put pressure upon the state.
You got that right, and the time to save the people is now.
Respect, brother. One love.
Yes, sir.
Guidance. So, hear what the brother say. The number to call is 280-5848. So this is another example. So we got 3 examples on the table. We have the Joseph Budner abduction. We have the systemic violation of Belizean students denied their education whenever they don't follow European colonial hair rules at schools in Belize. Another brother called from Penny PG for say that the public servants at the income tax department not in a good working conditions since about 6 months ago. Then changed the physical location of the office from Jose Maria Nunes Street to Clement Street, and according to the person we call, that was smaller physical area. It's about 6 months now. So we have then 3 examples on the table, and then we ask ourselves I made it before the brother call. I made it say that when Belize get so-called independence, whenever the people put the Constitution together. So the Constitution primarily came from the same European people who were our foreparents, African people, for example, and for indigenous people, they violate them people, but for African people, the enslavers, the colonizers, that they want to send the copy and paste Constitution for say, this is how the people want to get governed and run. We accept it pretty much just like they said it for the most part. There's been some amendments, but not much to talk about. The essence is still our European mindset. So that's 1. 2, the education system, that one church-state system. Again, once you hear that one church-state system that primarily one European, racialized as white, mindset, interpretation of the Creator, value systems of European people. At the point of so-called political independence, again, for the most part, we accept it and keep it. That in of itself, that one human rights violation. People have the human right to choose or not if they want to follow organized religion, indigenous or African spirituality, or none. That are people human right. Belize in a bunch of conventions where say people have human rights, and this is our human rights. Or you're born with human rights, and with rights come responsibilities. But if you don't even know what they're right, then how could you be held responsible because you don't even know you're right? So the state ought to have, as a decolonizing act, at the point of so-called political independence, and I say so-called because if we were independent, we would not need a governor general who represents the European monarchy. From the fact you have a governor general, that's the indication, because when you're independent, that's what independent and sovereign mean. We just stand up on our own 2 feet, or maybe I'm not going to say own 2 feet because that's somewhere ableist. As a country, we just say we take the responsibility for determining what the best interest are for we people and for we land. We want that. We no longer want European, British, they dictate to we how we for what are we values and how we for manage for we country and for we people. Let's go eternal. We want to do this for we own. That's what independent mean. When you left for example, if you choose to left your parents' home and You depend on your own. You depend on your own. You responsible for you and everything after that. Now, it don't mean that you can't still have relationship with your parents, and if they have it and want to help you in a whatever way, but that up for negotiation. But you move out of the house and you got your own spot. You're responsible for you. Belize and other territories did not do that. So that's why I say so-called independence. And we need to be, in order to find solutions to long-term problems or short-term, we have to start by telling the truth. And any reasonable person, there are not things where they're not me that I'm the first person to say it, that for years other people to say it, with evidence. And as long as we now have the desire for question these systems, which are very oppressive and never designed for the freedom of people, we won't continue to suffer in so many ways. So because in the church-state school system that believes, the church-state school system first responsibility, that for win souls, for their faith, that is primary responsibility. Education is secondary. And in the education system that believes, for the most part, you're not taught critical thinking. Gonna quickly do one research to say what are the different components of critical thinking. And so I just look on it real quick. I write it down, but in the essence of time, I just want to look on it real quick. So the critical thinking skills helps to improve decision making, enhances problem solving ability, refine your research skills, polishes your creativity, and stimulates curiosity. That's what critical thinking does for an individual. Now that means that if you nurture young people within your homes, within your school system, to be critical thinkers, that means you don't have blind obedience. And blind obedience, no good. Blind obedience is described as, make I look for this again real quick. Blind obedience, I'm pretty sure, okay, I did write it down, is unquestioning compliance with authority where individuals follow orders or rules without critical thinking or moral evaluation. So blind obedience means do what I say in a conversation. Do what I say. Now, one of the things that Belizean people need to do that tell themselves the truth, and I talk to wider Belizean people, at home and in the diaspora, we have to tell ourselves the truth. One lot of we, and I say adults, are not well. And we're not well because of the way we were raised. No, if you want to lie to yourself and say you well, that's your choice if you want to lie to yourself. But you really have to tell yourself the truth. Right? And there were things that our parents did and their parents did and their parents' parents did, that at the time they may really believe that this is the best thing for my children or the people in what I raise. That's the best thing for them. That's what they may know. But as you grow and you age and you reflect and you seek knowledge, and if you have the common sense, even without the school teaching critical thinking, common sense not as common anymore. And so we could look for adults who get raised with blind obedience and say the harm it caused to the individual and the harm it caused to the wider society when we engage in if we even have the ability to have reasonable conversations. So one of the things then what I notice with a lot of we Belizean is that even when faced with evidence, we don't believe it. And then just not being reasonable. Oh, you know that's true. Anybody could say anything. I prefer not talk to people when are reasonable. And that not mean that I did look for people agree with one position I have. And I know this is always reasonable leader because I'm human like anybody else. But the root cause of why Belizean people just go along and not question authority, even when we recognize and know that whoever is in authority not to make the best decision for the majority of we, or that we see that what in the say and what in the do no match up, is because in our homes, in a school, we were not taught how to value ourselves as human beings. That the way the Creator make way, however the Creator make way, that we perfect just like that. That we don't have to go change nothing per we, nothing mentally, emotionally, physically, that we enough. And for know that we enough, that we not seek nobody on the outside for validate that we enough. And that we equal to every other human being. And that we have the right to take up space and defend what's best for we. No, if nobody not teach you that, if they not teach you that in your home, you know see that in the people who live in your neighborhood, when you go to school, you know hear that, you know see that. If when you there on social media, you know hear, you know see that. When you go to work, what part you want to get it from? How you want to learn? How you want to know? How you want to know differently? So I can't hold people accountable for something where they don't know. They don't know it. Nobody never teach them. They don't say one example like they don't know. And even if they hear it on social media, how you want to make that link between what the your reality, what you live every day, one wrong what you say get righted on social media? Where you want to get it from? So to a large extent, I really, and especially for people who are community organizers, where just lose hope, get frustrated, lash out at the community at large. I said to them, listen, before you may know what you may know, I'm just like them people. I never always know what I know, and even if I know it intuitively, I never know it consciously. So I might have know it subconsciously, but I never know it consciously. And then even when you start to learn differently, there's a big responsibility because you might be the only one in your family who think so. You might be the only one in your family where they move so. That one cause friction between you and your family members because you not adhere to the values of that family. And that family accept that this is how you for behave and this is how you for act. Not recognizing that one lot of the actions in a family's mindset are toxic, create trauma. Now I have to go in at the homes because the community are a reflection of homes, right? So when I call you now, 280-5848, I never expect for the go away, so but I try the best I know how to for set the listeners, viewers, those streaming online. That when I encourage you for take one break. Sometime throughout the day today and the rest of the days for be still. Sometimes you might have to go in your bathroom or take a walk by yourself. I encourage people to take a walk by themselves. Like walking is really, if you're able to, because some people don't have the ability to. So if you have an opportunity for just sit by yourself. And a lot of we do everything for try to run for ourselves, but we always got ourselves. And until we could start to get comfortably in our own skin without any outside enhancers, for really sit down, I know it's hard one. Some of we have some really unimaginable, difficult lives, born into real bad conditions that you have to ask the Creator why you even make me, because when I born I they suffer, my family they suffer. And it's fair to ask those questions of the Creator. Now imagine that one later we get taught that we never question the Creator. So we are telling about this blind obedience mindset. Question everybody. Question you have a right. As a human being, you want what's best for you. And if you want what's best for you, then by extension, you want what's best for other people. But if nobody never teach you to go through one self-exploration, self-reflection, self-examination, starting off with yourself, then how can I said me, make I use myself as a community organizer. How can I expect, how can I want of Belizean people for whole themselves, the adults in their family, their parents? How I could expect them to do that if nobody never teach you know? Enough fair for us, anybody, for participate in our process we don't know about. When people, for example, go to church and you sit down in a church, you sit down and you listen to somebody else's interpretation of the Creator and what is expected of how you should live. Nowhere in that process when you go to church Sunday morning, you could raise your hand and say, excuse me, person with a talk. Where you get that from? How you know that that's true? I do my own research and I find something else and I say, you're not to do it in an argumentative way. You're the question. That you don't have that kind of space. You're expected to accept what that person they say, and if you question it, well, a lot of people have issues with it. That they were blind obedience to. So that when something that happened to you where they harm you, you don't have the skills or the courage or the ability to stop and say, no, this is not right. When your parents discipline you, when they beat you and tell you that because I care about you or they beat you, then parents they say to children, when people care about you, they harm you. And you have to accept that that's okay. That is not okay. And Belizean people, no bother call this phone this morning if you're not reasonable. Are they asking for call 280-5848? Are they asking for call? But are they at the age now where I have no tolerance for people when are reasonable? And I'm okay with that. I don't have no problem with, and I'm not the only one. As you're researching, you'll find as a lot of people age, the things they want to just tolerate when they're younger, they don't tolerate when they're older. But that's a part of living and learning and thinking and reflecting and choosing, because you got less years forward now, right? So you want to make every second count. You want, or I would hope that people want to be better human beings. And by being better human beings, you could serve your community better, because your whole point of living that to serve. Because other people serve to make we could there. But I say we come up on a 7:30 hour. And this first half hour, and I thank the caller with Colleen. I ask you to take some time to sit down and reflect without judging yourself or anybody. And ask yourself, who you? If the values, like what are your values? What are you willing to do or not do? Like what important to you? What are your values? And are those values because you do a self-examination, or you just take what somebody give you without any question? Are you a person who stand up when there's wrong? I mean, you evaluate the risk, but do you stand up for what's right based on your values consistently? What kind of human being you? And I asked that for the 3 examples where we have with Joseph Budna, with the human rights violations within schools, and with, for example, what happened with public servants, the Penny Punta Gorda. Wrong is being done. What you want about it. And especially when people have one different position from you, what evidence you have to sit down and listen without judgment and say, you know, I never look upon it that way there. I never see it that way there. Make us sit with it for a moment and see if anything new or different will come up for me. 7:30 behind the zinc fence and everywhere in Belize right now. It's time for 2 Cents Cam. It's been brought to us by Fort Point Security. Make we hear what the people in the saying of the community.
You're watching WUB and this is XTV, and the carnival feeling is on and it's up. So we're going around asking people, all right, how they prepare and feel for the carnival this year on XTV. Let's take it away. All right, so what are your 2 cents on the carnival feeling this year? What makes you so interested in a carnival this year?
The juvie and the carnival go around the city, and the party and the dance, and they kick up them people practice and make costume for so much year, for so much month. My cousin right there, I one of the head leader of the bank.
So what make you interested in the carnival then?
Just the music, the vibes, the people, everybody come together, you know, and just go enjoy ourselves. You understand me?
That's your 2 cents.
Yeah, Brick. You know, respect.
What it means to me. For me, it means a lot because I got introduced really into it to my fiance, and I start developing my own passion, you know. But I am an outsider, you know, and I love carnival spirit because it is a spirit, you know. So that one thing, and I deal with spirit in our sense with a good vibe, you know. Yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Interest you?
Well, carnival to me, it brings out our festive part of Belize culture. It interests me because I see a lot of diversity, and it kind of ignite a flame in me.
So you dance this year?
Well, I will dance for everybody, girl, this year, so.
Tired of replacing light bulbs? LEDs are what you need. LEDs last up to 30,000 hours. That's 30 times longer than incandescent bulbs, and up to 8 times longer than compact fluorescents. So less changing and less trash. Planet Earth thanks you. And the LED experts at Brothers Habet and Habet will help you find the best LED solution with colors for every room and mood, starting as low as $6.95. You can even get LED strips for home, office, and industrial use. So say goodbye to fluorescent tubes forever. And because they use up to 90% less energy, you save money. Money you can spend on other things. So head to Brothers Habet or Habet today. You can also call, email, or Facebook us. Have a brilliant day.
En Atlantic Bank, tu comodidad es nuestra prioridad. Nuestro centro de contacto está diseñado para mejorar tu experiencia bancaria. Con una amplia gama de opciones de servicio al cliente, ahorras tiempo y esfuerzo. Puedes llamar fácilmente para bloquear o desbloquear tus tarjetas de débito y crédito, realizar consultas de cuentas y acceder a información detallada de tus tarjetas. Ya sea que necesites asistencia con la banca en línea, apoyo para comercios o consultas generales, nuestro equipo está listo para ayudarte. Para mayor comodidad, si todos los operadores están ocupados, puedes dejar tu número y un operador te devolverá la llamada lo antes posible para asegurarse de que recibas el apoyo que necesitas. Para mayor seguridad, es posible que necesitemos verificar tu identidad con un conjunto de preguntas sencillas. Recuerda, Atlantic Bank nunca solicitará tu nombre de tu usuario ni contraseña de Atlantic Online por llamada telefónica, mensaje de texto o correo electrónico, asegurando que tu información personal permanezca segura y protegida. Nuestro equipo de apoyo está disponible de lunes a viernes, de 8 a.m. a 6 p.m. en inglés y en español. Simplemente marca al 223-1212. Esta es la línea dedicada para nuestro centro de contacto. Atlantic Bank se compromete a brindarte un servicio excepcional y las herramientas que necesitas para administrar tus finanzas de manera conveniente y segura. Aprovecha al máximo nuestro servicio del centro de contacto.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
The biggest business event of the year is back and better than ever. The Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. Mark your calendars and join us on September 13th and 14th at the Marin Sporting Complex in Belize City. Don't miss your chance to explore hundreds of local businesses showcasing the very best in local products and services. From unbeatable deals and mouth-watering food and drinks to live entertainment that'll keep you moving. The Expo Belize Marketplace has it all. Whether you're shopping, discovering what's new on the market, or just enjoying the vibes, there's definitely something for everyone. So come on out and celebrate 29 years of Belizean innovation at the Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. See you there. Expo sponsors include Bowen & Bowen, Smart Belize, Maurice Sharp's Fine Foods Limited, Quality Poultry Products, Digi Wallet, Grace Kennedy Belize Limited, Cellular World Belize, the European Union, Diversified Life Solutions, the Belize Tourism Board, Tenchtronics, Woodstock, Belize Soca and Culture Fest, Love FM, Love Television, Creme Radio, XTV, Hot Off the Press, Hits 100 Oya FM, Belize Entrepreneur Spotlight, and the BCCI's Western Union.
Welcome to Design Depot, where you'll find premium quality products from trusted brands, all in one place. Visit us today for quality products, expert service, and the brands you trust. Design Depot, all in one place.
World shifts to regional supply chains, Belize is poised to lead. This is where blue innovation meets green ambition, and orange creativity thrives. Join us for the Belize Investment Summit 2025, September 3rd to 5th at the Sunset Carib in San Pedro. From agribusiness to aquaculture, from renewable energy to digital services, from tourism to trade, this is the future of regional integration, and it starts here. Whether you're returning home, expanding regionally, or entering new markets, Belize welcomes you. Why Belize? Why now? Belize Investment Summit 2025, Bridging Markets, Building Resilience, September 3rd to 5th at Sunset Carib, San Pedro. Visit investmentsummit.bz to register and be part of shaping the investment frontier.
The biggest business event of the year is back and better than ever. The Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. Mark your calendars and join us on September 13th and 14th at the Marin Sporting Complex in Belize City. Don't miss your chance to explore hundreds of local businesses showcasing the very best in local products and services. From unbeatable deals and mouth-watering food and drinks to live entertainment that'll keep you moving. The Expo Belize Marketplace has it all. Whether you're shopping, discovering what's new on the market, or just enjoying the vibes, there's definitely something for everyone. So come on out and celebrate 29 years of Belizean innovation at the Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. See you there.
Where you come from? It's the Martins Community Festival 2025, going down Sunday, September 7th. Mahogany Street will be the epicenter of the fun, the excitement, the food, the entertainment, and the people. This year's Martins Fest features Britney Starr, Ernestine, Chica Ramos, Nello Playa,
You deserve it, cause anything you want, you could request it, cause you
Unlimited, Toast,
pray every morning.
Mimey, Sweet Pain 3.0, Hubie, Yaz Talia, Kenny Gladden and the New Creation Band, Coconut Boy, Super G, Stick the artist.
Every girl want me, sunny or stormy, money no.
NTR Shine. With music from Mr. Frisco, Reggae Kingpin, Tony G, DJ Dixie, Sly Boy International, DJ Buff, DJ Lala, DJ Baby, DJ Pounds, Exclusive Sounds, back to by Hyper Sound, and hosted by Brick City. Oleander to Jasmine, the Martins Community Festival 2025, Sunday, September 7th. Sponsored by Grace Kennedy Belize Limited, Belize City Council, J&W Shopping Mart, Belize Electricity Limited, Hyper Sounds, the Honorable Anthony Mahler, and the Belize Police Department.
Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Sister YaYa, Marin, Coleman here until 9 o'clock. The phone number is 280-5848, and we're reasoning about Belizean people, by and large, mindset. How they see themselves, how they overstand for their placement in the world, how we relate to each other, and for we responsibility, especially in our families and communities, when we observe or the question, is something just? Is it fair? Is it right? And if it isn't, what are you willing for about it? And if it is, what are you willing for about it? And so, I never always have this understanding, the need to be patient with our Belizean people, because people that are different level of awareness, of knowing, of accepting, of taking responsibility for their own actions, words, thoughts. And if they're willing to do anything for make the world a better place, people may think that then they do it enough for their own way, and that for them right, if that's how they feel. Morning, thank you for call. I hope it's a reasonable person talk to it.
Morning, YaYa.
Morning, brother.
The pool by Iguana Street.
Yes,
one.
Brother.
The second one, the bump by Roger Stadium there, Magazine Road, and one by Raccoon Street and Fairweather.
What happened with the bump?
What are the people there? It's dangerous, man.
Oh, yes.
Come out from Raccoon, going towards Raccoon Police Station. At least I could put a bump by Fairweather there, and one by the drugstore or cemetery. We need to come out a magazine. And you know, they're still putting on Antelope Extension, that is school, Presbyterian school.
Brother, I tell you, You give me your phone number already? Make I give you my phone number. Make I give you my phone number. Text me.
Number.
Okay, text me before the show done. I'm going to City Council today.
Yeah, but then I don't know. Remember, I don't have malaria and nothing at the pool.
Brother.
I talked to a health officer. He said this weekend I do it.
Okay.
So hopefully, it's a woman I work.
I go in a City. Text me the concern. I go in a City Council today. So you to bring pressure, I to bring pressure. And then we can get names of people and see how long it take.
Back school and Unity Presbyterian, back to Antelope Extension. They take a look with this dust.
Brother, I really appreciate you being consistent, and this is what we're talking about. If something matters to you, and this is not just about this brother, I care about the community. And the other brother will get a call in, so I reach out for that brother for your stay on it.
Like I don't mind getting stuff and I'll put to a temporary bump, you know, so at least it's slow down traffic, but directly they will arrest me.
Listen to me. I'm willing to get arrested. I don't know about you. So I just say, we talk to the people, get one name, and then I give you a time period. The whole long you complain about this now, brother? Months. So if you hold me accountable and I hold me accountable and they not do what I for do, then we going, well, me and you I look for the string, the rope. I want to put on there. Make them come arrest me. That's something for get arrested for. For the good of the community, because with the holla with the brother, really the brother not me. I just
I take one walk back a Unity Presbyterian. Right now, as I speak, when I tell them some people that fly through and no bump.
You live back there?
I live back there 26 years.
Alright then, text me. As I have to do something for Zinc first. When I left Zinc, I come back there.
Alright.
Alright, brother. Thanks for the call. Guidance. Only the people want to save the people. Now, I totally understand that not everybody have the interest, time, commitment that I have. And I committed to the liberation of African people racialized as black people. I'm not the only one. A lot of people all over the world do it. And so there's some things I will be willing to do that other people aren't willing to do. And there's some things other people are willing to do that I'm not willing to do based on your personal value system. And so I'm going to talk about why Belizean people take so much injustices. Complain about it out loud, you know. But more than likely, they're not going with part of the power there and hold the power accountable. Why is that? I feel, based on my own lived experience, that because we weren't taught to do that. You know, one of the things that could get me upset that when people say, oh, that's easy for the, when you know for do it, it's easy for you. Now come to somebody when don't have the skills, when don't have the knowledge, when don't have the courage, when I telling it something easy for do. Morning, thanks for calling WB. Talk to me.
Morning, YaYa.
Morning, brother.
Yes, and that guy we just called, and I hear that guy call several times. I think a speed bump is also needed on Euphrates Avenue by St. Ignatius School. There is a hole there, has been there for 3 years, and they don't seem to want to fill that hole. But a speed bump is needed there also because the school is there.
What part by St. Ignatius? Which streets?
Slow down is because of the hole that's there, so they have to slow down.
Which street?
Euphrates Avenue,
Euphrates.
St. Ignatius School, St. Ignatius Church.
All right. I want to give you my number too, because this is one of the things I learned, right? When people put ideas forward, I want to be willing to be part of the process. I just support system for it. I want to bring my number is 671-8050. Text me and tell me your name and number, and I'll try when I left and back.
Repeat the number.
671-8050.
671-8050.
Yes.
Got you.
When I left from back the Antelope Extension, I go in this morning. I go in by, you live by Euphrates?
No, I live at the street.
Okay. But I still going to look, but Papa tell me. I want to call to the council and ask them what we need for do. And say only the people and save the people, and this is where I talk about. One time we willing for not just bring it, because I appreciate people bringing it to everybody's attention when you call WB. And then we hope that the authority or the power will hear it and do something, or it'll help if they not call sometimes and say, listen, make we tell you how the system works. Then got PR people, me go tell you how the system works at Belize City Council. If you don't have an overgrown yard, respect brother, thanks for the call. If you don't have an overgrown yard, if you don't have one pool with abandoned, if you don't need one speed bump, these are the processes. I don't care how much time I don't have to say it. Say it till we learn it. Morning, thanks for calling WB.
Hello.
I need you to lower the way to listen to in the background because I could hear it and it's distracting.
Okay, hold on.
All right, no problem.
Please inform me, but there's no speed bump we want, man. We want pedestrian ramp because the bump hurt with vehicles. It hurt even the government vehicles. So, I could please get.
Oh no, have some big ass.
Huh?
I said that one big ass, a pedestrian ramp.
Not speed bump. Sleeping policemen or how they call it. They think they hurt the vehicle. All the vehicles nowadays they come very low.
All right. It sounds like we need one community conversation. That's what it sounds like we need. For here, what are the alternatives? Because that don't valid. That valid. You say hurt the vehicle. Maybe that the height of it.
Yeah, that is height of it. No, they want. Listen to me. No, they want. Then ESC bus, all the ESC bus, and they come low. So if pedestrian ramp, perfect, but speed bump, no good.
All right then. So you what are you on one now?
You know the whole country I believe. I travel the whole country I believe, and the speed bump hurt.
I hear you. Fair enough. You know, you're not doing no research to say what could be some alternatives.
Just put pedestrian ramp. If they could just, in fact, they don't need them bump. That's on odd places, you know. All you need the pedestrian ramp then around the school.
Are you talking pedestrian ramp like that one where I save you?
Yeah, the one where people could pass.
You do understand that our more costly investment.
But hey, listen to me. If they could pay how them people were win for land department, the land and so forth, take out stupidness, they must could do that.
Okay. I hear you. Everybody hear you. I hear your position.
Covered.
Thanks for that guidance. I tell you, people participation, and it really matter. You know, I think that many years ago I heard Oprah said that there are 3 things that people want in life. They want to be heard, and once they heard, they want to know if what they say matter to you, and then if it matter to you, were you willing to do for change the reality for that person? So that one complaint we get a lot about, not just the state, not just local management, but people who are in a position of power and authority, not genuinely listening to people without judgment, which our reasonable mean. You listen to people, and again, I know they say I master the skill. Therefore, listen to people without judgment. Really hear people. Not to listen for hurry up, answer back. Not to listen for sure that you know something different. Not to listen for take the people make puppy show. Not to listen for deflect that you are being held accountable for failing to do, we have a responsibility for do. But genuinely listen to people. Now, I know all the time I got the patience to listen, because some people could really talk for long, and even that in of itself. That's why I tell them for call 280-5848. We got another about 7 minutes before we got a break, and we have one guest. When you have one conversation with somebody, you have to ask yourself, why I have this conversation? Do I even need to be having this conversation? Like, what are my mindset? What are my vibration right now? Do I have the capacity to have this conversation? And then for the person who to talk, for be mindful how long you're to talk. For allow the person for, and then when you have one conversation, we really need to say to somebody, listen to me. I'm not to have this conversation because I want feedback from you. I want to vent. So that's why you listen. You got time right now for listen? How much time you got? So that with the find out from the person what availability they have. I mean, quite a bit of people call me or communicate with me. I could count on one hand how much people ever ask me, and this is a part of Belizean culture. Yeah, you have the capacity right now? How you do mentally? You okay? You can handle this? I human like everybody else. I got issues like everybody else. So sometimes you might hear me out the road and I really not hear you because I is somewhere else. I am a very community oriented person. If you heal me, I want to heal you back. If I have the capacity and I could stop and talk with you, I want 5 minutes, I don't mind. If I can't talk to you for 5 minutes, I'll give you my number until you call me. If I don't call you, text me. I again as human as anybody else. So I ask that we offer each other grace. When you're in a position of power and responsibility, you get held to a higher level, and you're supposed to. So I had to say to the media house, the media houses, to media workers, to people where other people give one space for listen to and feel like you're in a position of leadership. Be careful of how you talk. Be careful of how you carry yourself. People got long memory. They remember how you treat people. And this goes for me as well, because I have not always treated people well. And I understand it because I'm proud of it, because I'm not. But to the level of a part, I heal, or a part I have trauma, to how I engage people. Anybody could stop me and say, yeah, I'm feeling way about so. And I hope I in a right space when they stop me, I could accept it and note it for change my behavior moving forward. At an individual level, at a community level, I ask Belizeans that we pause and we really listen. If we're not able to listen to for our own self, then we're not able to listen to other people, not genuinely. Without judgment, especially when there's something we're sensitive to it, especially when there's something we're different from what we believe to be true. And as much as possible for me, we look for evidence base. Excuse me. You could feel how you feel. The evidence no one change. You cannot accept it. You cannot agree. The Constitution of Belize, the same copy and paste Constitution that we have, say that Belizean students have one right to an education. Say, not only Belizean students, Belizean people, but I talk about students in particular right now, have one right to self-expression based on their culture, based on their traditions, based on their belief, to express themselves, for example, with their hair. The Belize Constitution said that, no, yeah. The government of Belize have one duty to enforce the Constitution of Belize. So you Bad Education Foundation, they hold the government of Belize, namely in this instance, the Ministry of Education, accountable for failing to ensure that there are laws with stiff penalties for any school will violate the human right of our Belizean students by denying them access to education, and the police then here. The state has failed. What the state do is, when there's a report, then deal with that individual school. Then I have another report, and then deal with that individual school, and I have another report. That no work. It has never worked. So UEF take up the position last year, and today is actually day 366. So today are the first day of the second year of UEF advocacy as it relates to students being denied access to an education and hair discrimination, which is rooted in racism. Again, if you're not reasonable people, you don't need to stop me, you don't need to text me, you don't need to call me, because my position now has changed. But it's 8 o'clock, it's break time.
Come the banquet, find your way. Engines roar at the break of day. Volvo outboard surf the waves. Castrol oil is what they crave. Live with power, feel the sound. Heavy machines shake the ground. Riding Honda, feeling proud. Rev it up and shout aloud. Feel the wind against your skins. Now so wide, let's begin. At Banquet where dreams ignite. Gear up, let's take flight. Calder's power runs our towns. JCB lifts heavy pounds. Find the tools to build your dreams. Banquet's got the best machines. Grip the wheel and never slip. Feel the rush, it's time to trip. Every brand you know and love. Banquet fits you like a glove. Feel the wind against your skins. Now so wide, let's begin. At Banquet where dreams ignite. Gear up, let's take flight.
Banquet, equipment, parts, service. We represent quality.
Let's take a journey through the core functions of the Social Security Board. It all starts with registering as an insured person, employer, or a self-employed individual. Sign up for a portal account to manage your Social Security information online. Just provide accurate information and click Create. This will give you access to a range of services and benefits. Next, your contribution, along with investments and other income, are collected and distributed into 3 funds. This ensures that the SSB fund is securely utilized to support various benefit programs. The SSB is committed to providing essential benefits such as sickness, maternity, injury, and pension. These benefits are paid out to eligible individuals as a part of the Social Security coverage. We help you navigate through life's challenges with financial security. Annual surplus accumulates to grow the fund each year. This surplus is invested into various industries, contributing to the growth and development of our nation. With each passing year, the fund continues to grow due to the annual surplus and interest revenue earned from prudent investments. This surplus, along with reserves, helps to bolster the SSB fund and provide a safety net for those in need. We've arrived at the end of our journey to better understanding how the SSB works. We remain committed to serving you and building a secure future for all Belizeans.
Whether you are a busy person or stuck in traffic or having an adverse or very demanding circumstance, tension builds up, causing you to be stressed out. Stress attacks everyone, anytime, any age. And stress is a killer. Palm City? It's best to be alive than dead. So visit Freetown Drugstore to get options to relieve stress and to relax your mind.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you today?
I'm so stressed out.
Okay, I'm saying help you right now. When I this daily, for 10 days, I am good after that, okay?
Okay.
Freetown Drugstore, 28 Freetown Road, where you are better off alive than dead. Freetown Drugstore, telephone 223-2876.
The biggest business event of the year is back and better than ever. The Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. Mark your calendars and join us on September 13th and 14th at the Marin Sporting Complex in Belize City. Don't miss your chance to explore hundreds of local businesses showcasing the very best in local products and services. From unbeatable deals and mouth-watering food and drinks to live entertainment that'll keep you moving. The Expo Belize Marketplace has it all. Whether you're shopping, discovering what's new on the market, or just enjoying the vibes, there's definitely something for everyone. So come on out and celebrate 29 years of Belizean innovation at the Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. See you there. Expo sponsors include Bowen & Bowen, Smart Belize, Maurice Sharp's Fine Foods Limited, Quality Poultry Products, Digi Wallet, Grace Kennedy Belize Limited, Cellular World Belize, the European Union, Diversified Life Solutions, the Belize Tourism Board, Tenchtronics, Woodstock, Belize Soca and Culture Fest, Love FM, Love Television, Creme Radio, XTV, Hot Off the Press, Hits 100 Oye FM, Belize Entrepreneur Spotlight, and the BCCI's Western Union.
It's the Martins Community Festival 2025, going down Sunday, September 7th. Mahogany Street will be the epicenter of the fun, the excitement, the food, the entertainment, and the people. This year's Martins Fest features Britney Starr, Ernestine, Chica Ramos, Nello Playa,
You deserve it, anything you want, you could request it, you
Unlimited, Toast,
every morning.
Mimey, Sweet Pain 3.0, Hubie, Yas Talia, Kenny Gladden and the New Creation Band, Coconut Boy, Super G, Stick the Artist,
Every girl want it, sunny or stormy, money no.
NTR Shine, with music from Mr. Frisco, Reggae Kingpin, Tony G, DJ Dixie, Sly Boy International, DJ Buff, DJ Lala, DJ Baby, DJ Pounds, Exclusive Sounds, backed up by Hyper Sound, and hosted by Brick City. Oleander to Jasmine, the Martins Community Festival 2025, Sunday, September 7th. Sponsored by Grace Kennedy Belize Limited, Belize City Council, J&W Shopping Mart, Belize Electricity Limited, Hyper Sounds, the Honorable Anthony Mahler, and the Belize Police Department.
Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Oh no, call everybody because this is the conversation I want to hear. We have as our guest this morning, attorney Leslie Mendes. Good morning, Leslie.
Good morning, YaYa.
Thanks for making time in your busy schedule. I know you only got 30 minutes, so we have to really... The two things I wanted input from you on. First off, I want to say you came to my attention and a number of people's attention on the media based on cases you've represented. And so in my mind, when it comes to, there may be other attorneys, I tell you, she come to my radar. As someone who took cases of everyday working class people, black people in particular, and when I look upon you, I won't identify you as black, and you come across as reasonable and calm, so your personality is conducive to the work we offer, and that's not easy. I don't know if it's just why I saw if you practice it, I don't know. That their personality?
Oh, I leave it, but thanks, YaYa. I don't know if everybody would have described me that way, but yes.
That's my experience with you. I work with you for a while now. So, earlier in the conversation, we were talking about Joseph Budna, and then I'm suggesting that we look at him as a human being, flawed like all the way. But I just said to media houses and media workers, based on the allegations he's made and documented himself, I believe him. The concern right now I have is systems that should be protecting Belizeans are failing and have been failing. The Belize Police Department cannot be expected to investigate themselves because this is one accusation from the top against the Belize Police Department. Is there anything in law that Belizeans need to know about that we can use when the system fails in a situation like this? I don't know, what is bad name when it's have that the police department where they forgot to investigate when the
Professional Standard Branch.
That has failed. It has never worked. So I don't know if other Caribbean communities have something different. What options do we have right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's an issue I think that a lot of people have been raising for some time. The fact that we do need an independent mechanism to investigate the police, not only the police, but all security forces, especially when it comes to serious allegations of rights violations. Because the thing is that I don't think that it should be left up to the citizens to necessarily, of course we can all say who we believe, who we don't believe. But in terms of who bears a consequence, it should be the product of an independent investigation. It really should. And currently we don't have what we could comfortably call an independent mechanism that investigates the police for allegations against the police. Jamaica, I know, has INDECOM. And that mechanism arose out of a cry from the people that there should be an independent investigation based on an extrajudicial killing that happened in Jamaica, and basically these were things that were happening frequently. And so Jamaica does have one. But currently what we're told is just to go to the Professional Standard Branch or to go to the Ombudsperson's office. But they don't really have much teeth. And the Professional Standard Branch, well, comes from within the police. So it's not very independent.
So it will be up to the citizens to have, put pressure upon the state.
Yes.
So we need an independent body. But I don't know, I don't know what them in Jamaica, this administration, my 2 cents, seem to be tone deaf. Then just to do what they want, especially because there's not a strong opposition. And so what we for do? For say, and how did, and I don't know, what are the full, you give the acronym for Jamaica, but what are the full? INDECOM?
Independent, what? I don't know.
I don't know, okay. I don't know how it's constructed, but that's something we need to look at. Would the organization of attorneys be one of the bodies that would be expected to be leading on this issue or no?
No, I think we all have a vested interest in leading on the issue. I think human rights organizations would have been expected to lead on the issue. You know, there was, when the incident with the Shamar case, I don't know if you remember, but there was an incident when a young man was hit at the airport, we tried to make an argument that the professional standard branch did not meet the standard of independence and that we needed to do something else. Unfortunately, the court did not agree with us at that first instance level, and we were considering appealing, but we didn't appeal. But I do think that it's an important issue for us to raise the question before a court if it is that it won't happen based on political will. All international human rights standards say that you need an independent police, independent mechanism to investigate the police. The police cannot investigate themselves.
What would it take to get that matter before the court?
Well, you need a case. You need a dispute to bring before the court, yeah.
And well, but not can't bring a case because in Guatemala incarcerated. So can can the Human Rights Commission of Belize, I just use it as an example, bring a case without, I don't know, I just try to figure out how you could get one case before the court.
You can't usually bring a case without a dispute before a court. The court settles disputes. So in other jurisdictions, you can bring a case to the court for an opinion, or to give its directions on the constitutionality of X thing. But in Belize and in the Caribbean, you bring a matter before the court that is a dispute. So right now, it's not that you can just go to the court. What really needs to happen is that there needs to be public pressure for an independent mechanism. Okay. And I would say not an independent mechanism simply for the investigation of whatever's happening with Budna, but just a settled permanent independent mechanism.
Right. Okay. Secondly, I wanted to look at as you know, UF has led this campaign about the 2 human rights violations of a number of Belizean students based on what's reported in the news. Denial to education when they don't follow school policy as relates to the hair. You were one of the attorneys with the police officers?
Yeah.
With the case of the police officers. So you would have some experience as it relates to hair discrimination before the court. What does the Constitution of Belize say as it relates to students being denied access going to school because they don't follow school rules? And then, and I bring my attorney because I want to hear it from the attorney. And then what are the Ministry of Education responsibility for ensure that the Constitution get followed?
Well, everybody has all public authorities have a responsibility to ensure that, to guarantee the rights under the Constitution. That's how we call it. The international standard says that it must prevent violations, that it must ensure that rights are guaranteed, and it must sanction whenever there are violations of rights. The Constitution, when we brought the case before the court with respect to the police officers and their right to wear their hair in locks, it's protected under the right to freedom of expression, and in that case also the right to your cultural identity and respect for your racial identity. So it was it was a form of expression that is protected under various rights. And so it's not that you'll go in the Constitution and you'll find, okay, here, this includes hair discrimination. It's an interpretative approach that the court takes. And the court did find that the police department did in fact breach their rights, because while we accept that rules and, for instance, a uniform is important, we must also give reasonable accommodation for the right to freedom of expression, especially, not particularly, but especially when it interacts with our cultural identity or racial identity or religion.
I hope that's clear to my Belizean people, because sometimes we need to hear a different perspective. And even when I hear a different perspective, some people still feel strongly that this is how you teach discipline.
Yeah.
This is why you have these rules. And so we need to continue to have the conversation, because if they never carry that case to court, then that's not a rule of the police department. But someone challenged the rule. And so that to encourage Belizean people not to just go along with not because there's a rule mean it's a fair rule. And in other Caribbean countries, they have changed their hair policy and their hair law. How could this be remedied in Belize legally?
Well, I think it is important. That's what I was just thinking. I think that it is important for us to have a hair policy, for instance, because when we were successful in that case, when the police officers were successful in that case, my fear was that it would be viewed by public authorities as well. That is an isolated thing. And it only applied specifically, they only won because A, B, C, D. Immediately after that case, the then Commissioner of Police gave an interview, and it was clear that he was adopting a very restricted interpretation of that, where he said, well, that only applies because they're female and it only applies for females. And gender identity did play some sort of factor, but it wasn't the main factor. And if you read the case, there wasn't any limitations on the fact that, oh, this is especially applicable because they are women. And so what happens is that these victories stay as very isolated, self-contained victories. And that's why you need a policy, because these don't result in an overall review of, okay, are we following our policy? Then you have the situation, of course, where, well, that was the police department. This is schools. And so that case doesn't apply to us. And that's why you need a hair policy, because it's how we decide to to be very limited and very restrictive in how we treat these cases. And these cases are supposed to lead to systemic changes, but that's not what happens. So you need a policy if you want it to be a broader change, if you want it to be preventative.
Why a policy and not a law? Because Anguilla, Trinidad and Tobago, and I think Guyana and St. Martin changed their hair policy, but Puerto Rico changed their hair law as it relates to students and employment. And why UAP is pushing for a hair law is because we want penalties for violators. With a policy, you follow the policy if you want or not. What difference? Because the Ministry of Education has been known to say that they send out like a memorandum. But that memorandum don't mean nothing. People still do what they want. So that's why we're pushing for, my understanding would need to be an SI, an amendment to whatever the substantial law says about the rights being protected based on cultural expression. So what's the difference between having a hair policy and a hair law?
No, there's no. Yes, the difference is with respect to the level of enforceability, for sure. But the point is that you can do a policy, you can do a law. A law would be stronger, clearly. But the point is that you need something that's not, you're not dealing with it on a case-by-case basis and being reactive. You need something that's proactive. My understanding is that a policy sometimes is just easier to implement and to pass, like it's quicker. And so that the education authorities or the school authorities would have to still contend with, why did you not follow this policy, even though it wouldn't be as enforceable as law.
Yeah, so UF is definitely advocating for a law. And let's be clear, a law don't mean the violation will continue, because it doesn't change people's attitude, beliefs, mindset. Well, the last thing I have to do is try to do it, but then still feel one way about it. So I thought it was interesting. Last year we started this campaign when ACC sent home a few female students. Earlier this year, ACC sent home a few male students. This year when school opened, you know, here, nursing nothing. So it would be like, well, I guess they must have changed their behavior. But then it came to our attention, there's a form from the school that says, like, if you're in violation of X, until this is remedied, you cannot come back on the school compound. Which, that is the same thing. You deny one child access to education because of, in this case, not following school policy. I don't know how else to reach people for their mindset change, that blind obedience build resentment. That you not just follow one rule, or even one law. If it's unfair, then you ought not to follow it. What are your guidance as an attorney? If this is something where you come up with, where you come against people's mindset when it comes to following rules and laws, that they do it unquestionably?
Well, I mean, we are lawyers, right? So we should be following the law. And I think that those approaches or ideologies always clash. We have, of course, very conservative attorneys, and we have some that are a bit more liberal or progressive. And so you would have that in society, obviously. I think that based on the Constitution and some of the values that arise from the Constitution, you have proportionality, you have reasonableness. So you always have to do a sort of review of the rule that you are looking at, and you have to ask yourself, what is the objective that this rule has? And is this the approach that we get to that aim? And that's how you try to build some sort of buy-in from the persons that you're imposing the law on.
As simple as that song, I value that line of thinking. The Human Rights Commission of Belize, when we sat with them earlier this year, they asked the teachers, and they didn't respond to that question, and they asked the Belize Association of Secondary School Principals, what are the purpose of the rule? Why don't I have this rule about here? What are the purpose of it? And I can't think of, you know, the ACC rule book, it says that the young men have to have a conservative hairstyle, or the young woman cannot have an elaborate hairstyle, but it's subject to interpretation.
Right.
And so I really feel that there's a need for more communication. We don't have one history of having meaningful community participation. They want time-consuming process, and it really takes people with a certain personality for allow people to express how they feel, maintain one even temperature, for learn from each other. So I really don't know the root of how schools come up with policies. Like each school have their own policy, but this is a part we said the Ministry of Education. Oh, I know the president of the Belize National Teachers Union said that what should happen is each school should send them policy to the district education office, and then somebody from the district education office should review it and then take it up to upper management. But that has not been happening. So because we out a road no processes, and this is why it's so important that before we take part in our conversations, we need to have knowledge. We need to have evidence from different perspectives, and then reason it through. But oftentimes, I don't on Facebook no more, when one incident come up, people finger just start to talk, and it's a lot of feelings and emotions, and not even any consideration for how it could impact other people. So when you look for Joseph Budna's situation, right away people had a whole lot to say, and you seldom hear people look on it as this time a human being. In this instance, is it right? How you maintain your sanity as an attorney, your mental health as an attorney, having to constantly go before the court on human rights issues, and especially when they're not ruling in your favor. How you maintain your vibration, your mental health, but keep the go back when they don't rule in your favor?
I don't know. I think that in our private spaces, and like you said, sometimes in the public spaces, we have a lot of thoughts and perhaps criticisms. I think that there's generally, I would say, in most of our countries, and maybe in the world right now, a general sense of discontent of how things are. And so you have to go in to, when you're trying to challenge it, you have to be very aware that you are challenging something that's probably very deeply entrenched. So you can't go in there thinking that that it's gonna be a pleasurable experience, that it's going to be something that overall makes you feel good because in your mind it's the right thing to do. Like that's not how it works. So I just think that you have to go in prepared. Yeah, that's kind of what it is. But I do think that we have to recognize that there's just a lot of clashes in mindsets, and we have to be willing to listen. A lot of these things, like the rules that are so entrenched on some of them that we don't really understand, they definitely come from the colonizing process. And that we're not necessarily the only ones that are contending with how to balance these things. Like, how do you balance having to have order in society, having to have order in a school, alongside also trying to give space for individuality, expression, cultural sensitivities and religious sensitivities, especially in a country where it's not as, the way that we have organized it, does not take into account the pluralism in our society.
Yes, indeed. Maub is saying that schools should be a reflection of the communities where they're located to serve the needs of that particular community, and each community different. The Belize, we don't have class action lawsuit.
No, not really. We don't have a thing like that.
So one of the challenge, and I haven't followed it up, is there a statute of limitation on like a hair discrimination? So let's say they discriminate against you when you may 12, and now you're 25. And when you were 12, your parents never want to go before the court. But now you're 25 and you think about the trauma what that caused in your life, and you don't want to go before the court. Is there a statute of limitation on like hair discrimination?
No, there's not a statute of limitation, but the court does have the discretion to say that there's undue delay, that there's too much delay here, and so I won't be hearing the matter. It functions as a sort of preliminary objection that can be raised, that this case is just way too long. And the court has the discretion based on the particular case to say yes, to say no. There was a case with a parolee whose parole was revoked. And we took it to the court. I think it was maybe 4 years after his revocation. And at the first instant, the court did say that we delayed, that there was delay, not that we delayed, but that there was delay of 4 years, and that it was inordinate, and so the court would not be ruling in our favor. We had to take it up, and we took it up to the CCG, and the CCG was the one that said that in this case, because it always depends on the factors. In this case, you had allegations of serious rights violations. And so the court discouraged and strongly discouraged first instance courts to use delay as a reason to not hear the merits of a case where strong, not serious rights violations are being alleged.
Okay, good. With a pass 8:30 break time. You have much time, or you don't have to go after the break?
No, I could stay.
All right, good. Because I want to give people an opportunity to call in and ask questions. That always important. Anything you have to go, we could just break you and go. But we're going to take one quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
World shifts to regional supply chains, Belize is poised to lead. This is where blue innovation meets green ambition, and orange creativity thrives. Join us for the Belize Investment Summit 2025, September 3rd to 5th at the Sunset Caribe in San Pedro. From agribusiness to aquaculture, from renewable energy to digital services, from tourism to trade, this is the future of regional integration, and it starts here. Whether you're returning home, expanding regionally, or entering new markets, Belize welcomes you. Why Belize? Why now? Belize Investment Summit 2025. Bridging markets, building resilience. September 3rd to 5th at Sunset Caribe, San Pedro. Visit investmentsummit.bz to register and be part of shaping the investment frontier.
biggest business event of the year is back and better than ever. The Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. Mark your calendars and join us on September 13th and 14th at the Marin Sporting Complex in Belize City. Don't miss your chance to explore hundreds of local businesses showcasing the very best in local products and services. From unbeatable deals and mouth-watering food and drinks to live entertainment that'll keep you moving. The Expo Belize Marketplace has it all. Whether you're shopping, discovering what's new on the market, or just enjoying the vibes, there's definitely something for everyone. So come on out and celebrate 29 years of Belizean innovation at the Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. See you there.
Every moment matter with your credit card. More transactions, more chances to win cash back. You can be one of 4 monthly winners. Get a chance to win cash back with every purchase of $100 or more. For more information, visit www.atlabank.com. Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
Hi, my name is Miss Kenisha Rayburn and we're here at Grace Primary School. I actually follow Benny's on my Facebook, and so it was on my feed and I saw the competition and I decided to try out for it. This prize I have won, I welcome it, I appreciate it so much. For me it's a big relief because it's really costly every year to get your classroom prepared, and so this would be a really big relief. My students definitely would be excited to see their classroom, and I am sure my students will have a better learning environment. The environment will probably boost their motivation to learn.
It's the Martins Community Festival 2025, going down Sunday, September 7th. Mahogany Street will be the epicenter of the fun, the excitement, the food, the entertainment, and the people. This year's Martins Fest features Britney Starr, Ernestine, Chica Ramos, Nello Playa,
you deserve it, anything you want, you could request it, you
Unlimited, Toast, Miney, Sweet Pain 3.0, Hubie, Yas Talia, Kenny Gladden and the New Creation Band, Coconut Boy, Super G, Stick the Artist, NTR Shine, music from Mr. Frisco, Reggae Kingpin, Tony G, DJ Dixie, Sly Boy International, DJ Buff, DJ Lala, DJ Baby, DJ Pounds, Exclusive Sounds, back to by Hyper Sound, and hosted by Brick City. Oleander to Jasmine, the Martins Community Festival 2025, Sunday, September 7th. Sponsored by Grace Kennedy Belize Limited, Belize City Council, J&W Shopping Mart, Belize Electricity Limited, Hyper Sounds, the Honorable Anthony Mahler, and the Belize Police Department.
Vibes for this morning, Wednesday, no, it's Thursday, oh my gosh, Thursday, September 4th, 2025. The phone number is 280-5848. You have to be one quick speed round. I'm asking to be reasonable one on the call, and we'll talk about two particular issues. This is a free attorney advice line, 280-5848. We're talking about the YuB Educational Foundation to human rights violations that we're holding the state, particularly the Ministry of Education, accountable on, and calling for an independent body to investigate the police department. Well, in this case that Joseph Boyd not upon the radar, but like Attorney Leslie Mendes has shared with us, it should be for all security services. So it'll be the police department, the military, all of them, that you need an independent body for investigate them when there are allegations against these entities. Do you know what are the acronym for the Jamaican independent body?
You just asked me that, I will tell you.
Oh, but you say it. Yes.
Indicom.
That I'm going to write it down.
INDECOM.
All right. Indicom, the acronym, the INDECOM, that independent body that Jamaica will investigate the security.
Serious allegations.
Serious allegations against. You know how long they have it? You have any idea how it works?
No, but it's a while now. It's a while, must like it's maybe over. I don't know, but it's a while now. It's a while.
Somebody had called in earlier, and I tell the person call back 280-5848. There's another case out of Dangriga in 2017 where a student was out of school for a number of days. The student had locks. And I don't understand what they want consent order, because that was a consent order. Because what I'm going to try to figure out, I looked on the case with the police officers because we will approach the Ministry of Labor as it relates to hair discrimination within the the labor force in Belize.
Oh, okay.
And then I was looking at that as, even though that I'm an individual case, I don't know, I guess we will learn from this experience with the Ministry of Education. We have a meeting with them next week. So we will look on the consent order from a student in 2017 that was out of school for a number of days because the student had locks. Eventually, it was ruled, I think they had asked for a judicial review, and the judicial review was denied. and they went ahead and the consent order was the student could go back to school. But what I think I could do, that I could use that consent order, I guess you'd have to go before the court, and that could be used as precedent, that consent order, that a judgment was already made in a court as it relates to hair discrimination for a student. But that's an individual case, like you said earlier with the police department. Those are individual cases. I did try to figure out how for making up be individual cases, and so when we meet with the Ministry of Education, we're asking for a change to the law, as opposed to a policy, a change to the law. And then I'm thinking we could use that example and go to the Ministry of Labor and use the same example, that there needs to be a change to the law. Because right now there's no law, like there's a constitution, but like you shared, there's no specific law with penalties when there's hair discrimination in the workplace or in schools.
Right. Right now there's none.
Okay, so it would have to be similar to how UEF is leading this initiative from the bottom up. It would have to be an initiative from the people for a similar law to be passed as it relates to labor.
Yes, for a law or a policy. But the thing with a consent order is that it is what it implies. It's a consent order. It was arrived at by agreement of the parties. And so there was likely not a judicial pronouncement on whether or not there was actually a rights violation. Like the court itself did not say, yes, there was a rights violation. So there hasn't really been a determination of that as yet. Where there was a determination was in the police officer's case, where you have a decision and you can go, you can read it, you can examine the reasoning of the court, and then you, in theory, this is what should happen. You should go and read it, look at the logic of the court, and say, does this logic apply to me? Right? Because the court does balance different things. The court does say that in a school, rules are important. A uniform is important. And we do have to enforce them, for instance. But then the court goes on to say, in that case, not the school, but at the police department, even more so, the court said, yes, we have to have rules, and police officers who are enforcing the law should also be seen to be abiding by their rules and by abiding by the law. But still yet, there is a space for rights and ensuring that the rights of police officers themselves are being respected at the department. And in that case, it was because the way that the women were wearing their hair, they could still wear their uniform without any issue whatsoever. That the court said that there was no reason to deny them the right to freedom of expression and the freedom of their identity and to express that identity, because there was, the department could not show how exactly it was that them being able to wear their hair in that way was obstructing or being inconsistent with uniformity, discipline, abiding by the rules. And so that was the result of that.
I'll go back and listen to this WB, because I have to remember that when I meet with the Ministry of Education, which I think is where Human Rights Commissioner believes was heading, when they asked, what is the reason for this rule? And those are questions I think we need to ask more often. Leslie will have to go now. But I appreciate you coming on this morning, as short as a time that it was, that you fleshed it out and give us more clarity. For me, especially as related to the consent order, because I don't read anything, but I don't know a liar. So what very clear for me is a consent order is an agreement between two parties, and it's not a decision that the judge made. But in the case with the police officers, the judge did make a ruling or had an opinion on a matter brought before them. And it is like, that I have the judgment. It is just beautifully laid out. I mean, very clear what the different issues are and the justification for them.
And the other decision that would be useful is the one in Jamaica, because the one in Jamaica with the child, that was a child in the context of school, in the context of education, and obviously the arguments of being disciplined, teaching discipline, following rules, the uniform, all of those things came up. But the Court of Appeal, in fact, eventually did find that there was a violation. And in that case, there were some arguments that were very distasteful from the state, I think, where they were arguing that on the basis of hygiene, that he could not wear the locks because of hygiene. So that was a case that went before the High Court, and then it went to the Court of Appeal. And that is very persuasive and influential for how we interpret our laws and our policies and what is the obligation and duty of our education department as to how it should be protecting rights and overseeing rules and their interaction with rights, because we strike a balance, you know. We have to always strike a balance. So we have to think about, yes, you need discipline, yes, you need rules, you need order, and yes, they are in their formative years, so you have to be instilling some sense of that. But at the same time, you have to be accommodating for other values that we have. And other values that we have are expression, individuality, creativity, cultural identity, diversity, and embracing it and celebrating it. So those two things, you have to find ways in which to accommodate it.
Excellent. I never know about a case, but interesting. Yes. Even with that case, did Jamaica change their hair policy or hair law?
No. So in fact, in that case, they were also asking for the court to order that there be, or direct that there be changes in the policy, but the court refused to do that. So this is what I mean when I say that cases always determine the dispute before them, right? And they will give relief. They will give relief to the party, well, to the successful party, obviously. But they hardly ever strike at remedying systemic issues in a structural way. That is left up to the executive, that is left up to the policymakers, that's left up to the lawmakers as to how they will go ahead and do that. They should be doing it because overall they have an obligation. But yes, common law does struggle a little bit on how we are able to expanding the scope of the court to then order a more structural and systemic remedy. Those are rare. We got that twice, I think, well, at least two that I remember. Gregory August was a case where the court found that the mandatory life imprisonment, mandatory was unconstitutional because it did not give the court, well, for a lot of reasons, but one of them was that it did not give the court any room to individualize sentence, and sentences must always be individualized. I must be looking at the person. So the mandatory nature of it was unconstitutional. And then a consequential order of that was that you now have to review all of the sentences of all of the prisoners that are serving under mandatory life imprisonment. So you have to resentence everybody. That was a form of a systemic, I don't know if structure, yes, it was structured, but it was more like a systemic thing. Like there were consequential orders that did not only apply to the parties before the court. And then the other one was the Maya Leaders Alliance case. And that was a consent order, but then there were the orders from before were also systemic.
Caller, I push it. Morning caller, I got like minute, quick. We're going to lunch, we're going to break. Caller, talk.
YaYa?
Yes, you have to make it quick, brother. I got 1 minute.
I promise I don't call no more about the government. I promise that I'm afraid when I do it.
Make it quick, you know, because I have to go.
Yeah, but this thing with Fonseca gets on the TV, what a shame, man. He shouldn't have even said nothing. Better just shut up.
Where is that about?
You worry about the man well-being. If you don't worry about the man well-being, then they may have kidnapped the man and carry the man. And when they get the man a visa for now, or visa make it illegally, that's what they want. Why they are sick, boy. So they better say nothing at all. YaYa.
I hear
That's
you,
what the
brother.
Prime Minister and the Commissioner they do. Better than keep check up because everything they say, why don't speak we have more.
I hear you, brother. I have to go to break now, though. Thanks, guidance. Break time. Thanks, Leslie.
All right, thank you.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Prepare for the heat and stay cool with a Reamer Gree air conditioning unit from Benny's. Choose the right BTU unit size for your bedroom or living room and enjoy complete comfort. You can also save money with an inverter unit that is energy efficient. When the heat is on, stay cool and comfortable with an affordable, dependable AC unit from Ream or Gree. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History. Choose Contributions. Read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, and that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today.
It's the Martins Community Festival 2025, going down Sunday, September 7th. Mahogany Street will be the epicenter of the fun, the excitement, the food, the entertainment, and the people. This year's Martins Fest features Britney Starr, Ernestine, Chica Ramos, Nello Playa,
You deserve it, anything you want, you could request it, you
Unlimited, Toast,
every morning.
Miney, Sweet Pain 3.0, Hubie, Yaz Talia, Kenny Gladden and the New Creation Band, Coconut Boy, Super G, Stick the Artist,
Every girl want it, sunny or stormy, money no.
NTR Shine. With music from Mr. Frisco, Reggae Kingpin, Tony G, DJ Dixie, Sly Boy International, DJ Buff, DJ Lala, DJ Baby, DJ Pounds, Exclusive Sounds, backed up by Hyper Sound, and hosted by Brick City. Oleander to Jasmine, the Martins Community Festival 2025, Sunday, September 7th. Sponsored by Grace Kennedy Belize Limited, Belize City Council, J&W Shopping Mart, Belize Electricity Limited, Hyper Sounds, the Honorable Anthony Mahler, and the Belize Police Department.
Belize Morning Vibes, and we just come back for Shut the Shop. Thanks to the people who are calling, text, live stream. The show on repeat at 3:30 today on XTV. And the security guard when I came in was Roger Rapper Rushford. No, it's Shane Flowers. Here at XTV, Technical Director, Sister Christy Flowers, Senior Engineer Cliff Lewis, Cliff. Downstairs on the second floor. Now who we have? Larry G? Larry Guerrero, known as Larry G. Big thanks for stay tuned. Make sure you go to YouTube, subscribe, XTV Belize, share the link. Especially we want to thank Attorney Leslie Mendes for coming in this morning and for share and teachery. I'll be back tomorrow morning with health and strength. Until then, honor the people and save the people.
So to needless reason, nobody feel left out is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah. No respect on selfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes to be obeyed. And all the things that I feel happen and I got blue sky.